Gerlach and Ely Model of Instructional Design. The learning objectives of this presentation are: identify the 10 steps of the model, identify the cyclical nature of the model, see that this model has been designed to be applied in the classroom setting. The Gerlach and Ely Instructional Model is a 10-step model of instructional design created by Vernon Gerlach and Donald Ely. As a teacher, this is a great model to utilize for creating current lessons and enhancing future lessons. Step 1 and Step 2 can be interchangeable, but technically, the first step of this process is specification of objective, and Step 2 identifies the specification of content. As a teacher, I swap Step 1 and Step 2 because when planning for a lesson, I start with the content area the lesson will be designed for, followed by creating the objectives for the lesson. Step 1 and Step 2 are determined by the teacher because they are the essential decision maker throughout the entire process. Step 3 is the assessment of entering behaviors. As a teacher, knowing the prior knowledge of my students is crucial when it comes to developing and differentiating the instruction of the lesson. Assessing prior knowledge can be done using a written pretest, an oral pretest, or a teacher observation. Steps 4 through 8 are dependent on each other. If changes are made to any one of these steps, those decisions can change the outcome of the other steps. Because of that interdependence, this group of steps is known as the group of simultaneous decisions. Step 4, the determination of strategy, is the step that allows the teacher to choose which method they will use to deliver the lesson. For example, will it be a teacher lecture or a group-based instruction project? Digital media may also be used as a resource to the lesson. Step 5, organization of groups, allows the instructor to decide the best way to provide the instruction. Should the instruction be one-on-one? Should the instruction be to a small group? Should the instruction be to the entire class? And finally, if the lesson does not fit any of the three I mentioned, the teacher can organize the learners any way they see fit. Steps 6 and 7 are the allocation of space and time. These must be addressed based on the content of the lesson and the audience. These steps depend on what the previous steps are, showing their interdependency. As a high school teacher, I know I have a 45-minute window to teach my lesson. As based on the content of that lesson, I will arrange the desks in my room accordingly. Step 8 involves the selection of resources. This step is where the resources are located, obtained, and adapted to fit the lesson. Resources are selected instead of being developed. This is due to the time constraints of the teacher teaching the lesson. It is okay to create your own resources, but many times there are resources readily available. Step 9 is the evaluation of performance. In this step, the teacher is able to assess the student's knowledge of the lesson. Teachers can assess and determine the efficiency and effectiveness of the lesson. Step 10, the analysis of feedback. Step 10 involves the analysis of feedback. It is a way to reflect on our lesson and tweak it for the next time you teach that actual lesson. Step 10 brings the teacher right back to Step 1 to repeat the process over again using their own prior knowledge from the lesson that they just taught. So, who could use this? This model can be used by anybody in the school setting. This model can also be used by those in HR who conduct employee trainings. This model was created to make an average instructor an instructional designer.